Winning the lottery is a curse, and the unluckiest winners are those who get kidnapped or worse, murdered right after their big win. If you don't believe there exists a lottery curse, listen to the insane stories of these 6 lottery winners who didn't get to enjoy their fortune for long. Number 6. Basil Thorne. Let's start with a case from 1960, which is still one of the most heartbreaking lottery stories ever told. This is Basil Thorne, an ordinary man living in Sydney, Australia. He and his wife Frida were renting a modest flat in Bondi, raising 3 kids. Then, out of nowhere, he hit the jackpot. In June 1960, Basil won £100,000 in the very first Opera House lottery. That's over $3 million today. But then, things started to go wrong for him. Back then, there were no privacy protections for lottery winners. Newspapers did not just print Basil's name, they published his full address. So the entire country knew exactly where the new millionaire lived. Just 5 weeks later, on July 7th, their 8-year-old son, Graham Thorne, left home to wait for his ride to school, like he did every day. But this time, he never did it. Within an hour, a man with a thick accent called the Thorne house and told them that he had their boy, and that he wanted £25,000, which would be $850,000 in today's currency. The man on the phone told them to send him the money by 5 o'clock, or he would feed Graham to the sharks. As soon as Basil and Frida got that phone call, they involved the police. Police tried to contact the kidnapper pretending to be Basil since he was out of town, but the kidnapper never called back with ransom instructions. Days passed with no sign of Graham, and then, out of nowhere, his school bag and cap were found miles away. His body was not found for 6 whole weeks. When they finally did, it was hidden under a bush in Seaforth, wrapped in a picnic blanket. He had been tied up, gagged, and left to die. He was still in his school uniform. Then started the investigation. Forensics found hair, plant traces, and even tiny pink mortar dust. All of it led police to a man named Stephen Bradley, a Hungarian immigrant who had recently fled the country with his family. Turns out, he had been watching the Thorne family for weeks. He admitted to the kidnapping and said that Graham suffocated in the car, but experts proved that was a lie and that he killed him intentionally. Bradley was caught, extradited from overseas, and sentenced to life in prison. This was Australia's first known child kidnapping for ransom, and it changed everything. Laws, privacy rules, how lottery winners are protected. All of it started here. Number 5. Abraham Shakespeare. Next, we have the tragic story of Abraham Shakespeare. Back in 2006, Abraham was 41 years old and working as a truck assistant in Florida. He had $5 in his pocket and no clue that his life was about to change in a night. During a delivery run, he stopped at a corner store and told the driver to grab him a couple of lottery tickets. Lucky for him, one of those tickets hit the jackpot of $30 million. Now, Abraham didn't come from money. He didn't even finish school and could barely read or write. So when he got that lump sum, which was about $17 million before taxes, he did not know what to do first. He did not hire any financial advisor, nor did any long-term planning. The only thing he knew he had to do was help people. And that's exactly what he did. He gave away money like it was candy. $1 million to his stepdad, hundreds of thousands to friends, family, even people he barely knew. He paid off mortgages, handed out cars, and helped anyone who asked. But that kindness became his downfall. Word spread fast, and people started showing up with sob stories, fake business ideas, and open hands. Abraham could not say no. And then came Doris Dee Moore. This was the woman who said she wanted to write a book about him. But in reality, she just wanted his money. Dee wormed her way into his life, became his business partner, and somehow ended up living in his mansion. Then Abraham vanished, just disappeared from the face of the earth. Dee said he was tired of people using him and wanted to live in peace, away from the spotlight. Months went by. No one heard from him. And then, shockingly, his body was found buried under concrete behind a house tied to Dee. Turns out she kidnapped him and then killed him just so she could enjoy a luxurious life with his money. Dee Moore was arrested right away and is now in prison for life. Just like Abraham, this next lottery winner was kidnapped and killed by someone they trusted. But this time, the kidnapper was someone closer to him. Number 4. Jeffrey Dampier. Let us tell you about Jeffrey Dampier, who won the Illinois lottery in 1996. The jackpot was $20 million. He and his wife at the time split the prize, but their marriage didn't last much longer. After the divorce, Jeffrey moved to Florida, started over, and married a woman named Crystal. At first, it seemed like he was living the life of his dreams. He opened a popcorn shop, named it Cassie's Gourmet Popcorn, and tried to build a simple, happy life. But Jeffrey had a big heart and a soft spot for family. He moved Crystal's sisters, Victoria and Terry, down to Florida and helped take care of them. Bills, gifts, whatever they needed, Jeffrey would pay. But this does not mean he was loyal to his wife. He used to give Victoria expensive presents since he was secretly having an affair with her. That was the biggest mistake he could have made. It happened on July 26, 2005. Victoria called Jeffrey and said she needed help with her car. He went over, probably thinking nothing of it. But once he got there, she and her boyfriend, Nathaniel Jackson, tied his hands and feet with shoelaces and forced him into his van. Jeffrey was now a hostage, and things escalated pretty fast from there. Inside the van, Nathaniel handed Victoria a shotgun and told her to shoot Jeffrey, or he would shoot her. She pulled the trigger. Jeffrey was shot in the back of the head. Just like that, he was gone. And the reason was just that they wanted his money. The man who had been paying their bills and helping them live comfortably was murdered for what he still had left. Victoria and Nathaniel were both arrested and later found guilty of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and carjacking. They were each sentenced to life in prison. But think about it. Jeffrey was not killed by strangers or burglars. He was killed by his family, people he trusted, people he gave everything to. It was his kindness that made him a target. But this was not the case with the next lottery winner, who was targeted by total strangers. Number 3. Jonas Lucas Alves Diaz. This is the story of Jonas Lucas Alves Diaz, a man who became a millionaire and then a murder victim. Jonas was 55, living a quiet life in Hortolândia, a city in São Paulo state. In 2020, he won Brazil's biggest lottery, which is the Mega Sena, and won 47 million reais, or about $9 million. The overall good, but maybe the wrong decision for himself he made was that he didn't change his lifestyle. He stayed in the same house, walked around in flip-flops, and kept the same habits. His neighbors all knew he had won, but he didn't beef up security. He still lived like a regular guy, and that made him an easy target. On September 13, 2022, Jonas left home for a walk and didn't come back. He was kidnapped and held for 20 hours. His kidnappers demanded he transfer them 3 million reais, which is about 600,000 US dollars. Audio from that day shows Jonas begging his bank manager to approve the transfer, but the bank got suspicious. The request was flagged and denied. Still, the kidnappers managed to take around $4,000 from his account. But then something bad happened. On September 14th, Jonas was found seriously injured on the side of a highway. He was rushed to a hospital but died from his injuries. Just like that, another lottery winner lost his life over money. Police quickly launched an investigation and found out the motive was his lottery win. 2 people were arrested, Rogerio de Almeida Spinola and Rebecca Messias Pereira Batista, who owned the account that received the stolen money. 2 others were still on the run. What makes this story hit even harder is that Jonas was not flashy. He didn't flaunt his wealth. He helped friends, donated to cancer treatment, and even bought a truck for a childhood buddy. He used his money to do good. But in the end, even that kindness couldn't protect him. And the terrifying part is that he was not the first Mega Sena winner killed. Since 2007, at least 4 winners of this lottery have been murdered. This means the lottery curse is more real than you think it is. If you still don't believe us, listen to the story of the unluckiest lottery winner ever. Number 2. Jack Whitaker. Jack Whitaker is a lottery winner who seemed truly cursed from the start. This man lost everything, not just the money. He lost everything he had. You see, Jack was already doing pretty well before the lottery. He was a businessman in West Virginia, running a successful construction company. He was not broke or desperate. He was just an average, hardworking guy who happened to buy a Powerball ticket in 2002. That one ticket turned into $314 million, which was the biggest jackpot ever won by a single person in U.S. history at the time. He took the lump sum, which was around $113 million after taxes. And at first, Jack was feeling generous. He donated millions to churches and charities, and even built a new foundation. He tipped waitresses thousands of dollars, gave a house to the woman who sold him the ticket, and practically handed out stacks of cash to anybody who asked for it. But soon, life turned dark for him. First, his car was broken into, twice, with hundreds of millions of dollars stolen both times. One time, someone snatched $545,000 in cash from his car outside a strip club. Yes, he kept that much cash just sitting in his car. Jack claimed he carried it around to help people who needed it, but this made him a target. Then it got worse. His granddaughter Brandy, who was just 17 years old, was found dead from a drug overdose in 2004. Her boyfriend had also died under suspicious circumstances. That's when people started wondering if Brandy was targeted because of the money, or if she was kidnapped and killed and then her death was portrayed as a drug overdose. Some even believe she was lured in by people trying to extort Jack, but nothing was ever proven. Just a year later, Jack's daughter Ginger also died. The cause was not clear, but many say she never recovered from losing her daughter. As the years passed, Jack's fortune crumbled. He got sued multiple times. He was arrested for DUI and other charges. His business took a hit. He lost his reputation, and he also lost his family. He said in interviews that he had no one left to share his money with. He was also caught wishing he had torn up that ticket. In 2020, Jack Whitaker died at age 72, broke and alone. Well, the lottery curse followed Jack throughout his life. It didn't give much time to this next lottery winner. Number 1. Gregory Birch Jr. Gregory Birch Jr. was only 20 years old when he won the lottery, and just 2 months later, he was dead. Out of all the stories of lottery winners gone wrong, this one is especially gut-wrenching because Gregory was doing everything right and still got killed. In November 2015, Gregory hit the Fantasy 5 jackpot in Georgia. He won $434,272. It was not much, but for a young forklift operator who had been struggling to make ends meet, it was a huge amount. He was stunned by the win and said he felt it coming, even joked about signs like his right hand and eye twitching. He bought the ticket on a gut feeling. Turns out, it was a winning one. And what did he do with the money? He gave back. He bought Christmas presents for families in need. Friends say he did not flaunt his big win or improved lifestyle. He did not try to live like a celebrity, he just helped others and took care of his own family. But not everyone was happy for him. On January 20th, 2016, Gregory's home in Fitzgerald, Georgia was invaded by masked intruders. They blew his front door open with a shotgun. His girlfriend was inside and watched it all happen to him. She said Gregory urged them not to shoot. He cried and told the intruders not to do it in front of his kids, but they didn't care. They shot him anyway. Police later said it was no random act. Gregory was a pre-selected target. He had been watched, followed, and hunted for his winnings. 7 people were eventually arrested, aged between 17 and 28. They were charged with murder, armed robbery, aggravated assault, and home invasion. Some of them were even women. It was a full-on planned attack. Think about that. A 20-year-old who just wanted a better life was gone just like that. He didn't buy a mansion, didn't blow money at clubs. He bought toys for kids and helped out his loved ones. He was just getting started. But the moment his name hit the news as a lottery winner, his life had a target on it. And within weeks, greed knocked down his door, quite literally. But not everyone is followed by the so-called lottery curse. Some people really do see their lives turn around for the better. In fact, in the next video, you will meet a lottery winner who literally saw the winning numbers in a dream, woke up, bought a ticket, and ended up taking home $82 million. So yes, dreams do come true sometimes. Watch the next video to find out how this happened.